A lot of moments where leaving. Oh,
my God.
And we're going back to
sign me up for Davies on Chamber.
They like the Davies Chamber. And listen, I trust Davies. Week 1 through 5, I didn't trust him, Sean. But now, I trust him.
So today we're going to find out how KRU, yes, the 0-9 regular season KRU managed to beat Cloud9 to get into the grand final of LCQ and potentially make it to champs. And they did it whilst using a comp that is quite weird. Because they're playing double Sentinel, Chamber, and Killjoy, which you don't see very often. They're also playing Raze, which you don't see too often on Haven either. So it's all very bizarre, but they managed to do it, and let's see how they did it. And we'll start in here with round number 5. Now, this is actually a somewhat save buy here for Cloud9, where they do have the 1-up that Leaf saved from the round prior. But other than that, it's not a great buy. But you'll actually see that they managed to get the first kill. And the reason that they're able to do that is KRU are going to come towards A to begin with here. And you see that they've got this Astra Star just here. Now, this is going to become an Astra Suck, as we're going to get a Blast Pack down in here as well. And the hope is that no one can actually cross across with this Astra Suck here. But Leaf just decides, well, we're on an eco and I've got an op, so I'm going to take a risk anyway and get past it. And he does manage to get past it, and then he's able to get the first kill because of that.
Different Viper wall out from Rooney this time. Again, to help shore up some of the problems that they've had on B.
That's a great start placement to try to punish Leaf, but he still gets value out of the op right now.
Thought he had lined up for a collat there for just a second.
So KRU are already down into a 4v5, so what do they decide to do next? Well, they decide to retreat from A. Obviously, Leaf is the danger in this round, so it makes sense that you would, go away from where you know he last was. And Nags just walks past this Viper wall here. He takes a bit of a risk in a 4v5 to just say, okay, I'm just going to walk past this on my own and come into Garage just kind of alone here. And you see the rest of the players start to come down C. Now, what they're about to do is very, very important in this round. And it is a very, very good idea against Cloud9. Because Nags is in here, right? He's in Garage, and you can't hear anything, right? You can't hear any Killjoy setup. You can't hear anything like that. So they just contact walk in. And what I mean by that is they're not going to use any utility. They're not going to, show themselves. They're just going to walk in slowly here onto the C site. And they manage to take the site. And obviously Nags has managed to take Garage as well. And the reason that this is such a good idea, specifically against Cloud9, is because how Cloud9 like to play it. So Kesnet starts planting here. But the reason this is so good against Cloud9 is because Cloud9 love to go for fast retakes. And what I mean by that is as soon as, you put stars down here and you put, a sky flash in here and a raise nade and all of that stuff, as soon as you use all that utility, what's going to happen is Cloud9 are going to sprint to this position here. The people on the site might retreat off the site, and everyone's going to end up to retake as soon as they can, right? Everyone's going to line up here. As soon as you start, planting the spike, they are then going to just send it on you, right? And this is very difficult to defend because the person on the spike kind of has a decision. Do I get off the spike? Do I stick the plant? They kind of have that decision to make. And if you do, decide to stick with the plant, then you're basically, a man down once that person is planting. And, it's all chaotic, but Cloud9 know what is going on, but you don't. But that's why this is such a good idea, because look at where Cloud9 are when the spike is being planted. Because they've had no prior warning that you were coming towards C, only Rooney is here, right? We got 2 players down A short there. We're actually just dogging A short with the Sky there. They've got, the Jet is all the way on A as well. The closest extra player is on B. So they have to go for a full set retake instead of going for a fast retake. And because you contacted in, it means that you've got all this extra utility, right? Where we've got 3 Astra Stars, you can see here, right? Klaus still has his dog and 2 flashes. Kesnet still has a nade because we contacted in. So it makes this retake so much harder for Cloud9 because they have to retake now both Garage. You see the dog coming out here as well. And they're, way, way, way away from the spike. So that spike is going to be ticking. And that means that KRU managed to win this post.
Put 2 stars to hold on to the site. So coming through spawn is going to be really difficult. They're not looking for grab wells to get off the spike. Instead, they're trying to delay them and come out.
I mean, there's really no easy way to get in. You can't really get in through spawn. You can't get in through garage. But Jake invests the ult anyway, and now he's going to drop the paranoia, and they want to try to funnel out. Leaf has blades. Nano clearing out backside. The blades have to be good, and they just weren't.
One enemy remaining.
An attempt and a good one from Cloud9, despite everything that KRU did being very nice.
And then let's come to the very next round, where again you will see Crew with a very, very good plan. This time Cloud9 again are going for a fast retake. You'll see that happen in this round. They've just got the Killjoy set up here on A, but again Crew don't use a lot of utility to come and take this control. Look, it's just them again walking down here. They destroy this kind of pushed up alarm bot just there, but again they're just walking up, and this makes a lot of sense, don't forget, for Crew's comp, because they do not have a ton of utility to take space, right? They're playing a Killjoy chamber. You know, you're not going to have a lot to take that space away from your opponents, and so they need to make sure every bit of utility that they do use, you know, is being used in an effective way. And so by, you know, just taking that bit of a risk, contacting in all the way here towards A, you know, they're able to then just take the site here, you know, without really using too much utility. They basically walked up towards long, and now they can pop the Seekers, and they can see that the site is free. You know, in they start to come now, and they clear the site. But then they're also thinking about little details as well, right? For instance, they give Kesnet the spike. Why did they give Kesnet the spike? Because he's one off his ult, right? And now you're going to see that fast retake come in from Cloud9, right? The spike, it hasn't even been planted yet, but look at how fast they are here on the rotates. They've already popped their Killjoy lockdown as well, but Crew were ready for it. Crew know what they want to do. Kesnet's going to plant here in a second in a spot where everyone can see it from long, right? You know, he's planting out in the open because they've got this Astral to help protect him as well across here, down towards the back side of A, so that's going to help protect the spike plant and mean that he can't get spammed as much. And so he plants there. You see that the fast retake starts to come in, but Crew know what they want to do. They know that they want to play fully off site this round because of the Killjoy lockdown, and because now that they've got a Raze ult, that becomes much easier, right? They've got the Nano Swarms, they got the Astral Suck, they got the Raze Nade, they got the Raze ult. Like, you know, they have enough post-plant utility here as well to afford to do this and just play back here, basically nullifying that Killjoy lockdown, and you'll see it goes very well for them.
But no, Kesnet's going to get off, and he has the Showstopper to get back in this. 2 stars already on the spike. They've got mollies as well.
Leaf has dashed his way forward so aggressively. There it is, Showstopper on. Is it going to connect? It does, onto Zeppa. 5v3 in favor of Crew.
Consistently hitting those where others are missing.
Leaf having to make a big play here, and they're going to swing into 4. They've got the smoke to cover one side, and they've cleaned them up. But Crew with the counter punch, leaving Rooney alone, and he falls as well. Out of the timeout, Crew win another round.
Now let's come to the defensive side, round number 16, and we'll see this in a later round. But first, let's just talk about this chamber, because here's the chamber setup that they were sometimes doing, where you've got the teleporter just there, down towards short. Obviously, you can come and play anywhere in here, and then TP away to pretty safe there. And you've also got the trademark here on A as well. And you'll see how they mixed it up though as well, because normally if you were playing solo chamber, you saw this kind of setup where you got a trademark here and you got your rendezvous back there. You might think that it's just the chamber alone, but because we've also got a Killjoy, it means that we can mix it up a bit, and we'll see that in the next round that we show as well. So this time we've got the Sky here with the chamber as well, but you've got this Viper wall, right? But obviously with this Viper wall, it creates a lot of pressure that someone could be coming down on short. But because we've got our chamber here and he can get out at any time, it just means that we feel a bit more secure in this. Now in this round, Cloud9 actually just go for kind of a full B rush here. You see that they managed to take the B site just there. They come in onto the site. They actually send a dog here on the back side as well, and they're going to manage to get this spike down in just a second. But I want you to watch the discipline that Crew play with. So initially they actually just tap the spike, try and bait out some of that utility like this Raze Nade here, but now they will go for that full plant just here, will Cloud9. But I want you to watch the discipline that they play with at this point, because Crew are happy to play a B retake here. The reason is they've got an Astral, and when you've got an Astral on this B site and you can do, just a wall across the front of the B site, that means that everyone has to play on the site. So Cloud9 know that they have to play on the site, but they don't have control of A-Link, they don't have control of C-Link. They are trying to go for this A reflank. But here's the thing. Crew know that, they can't play out here. So if they're all trapped on site, they're in a lot of trouble, because this is a difficult post plant to play when people are coming in from both directions. So look, Melster is just watching Garage, and he's just going to watch Garage. And this guy here, Klaus, he's just going to watch for the A-Lurk, because they know that that's pretty much all they can do at this point, and they just have complete trust in the rest of their teammates. The other 3, this is a spectator bug, they don't have 6 players. These 3 are going to deal with the rest of them, right? And that is exactly what happens, and you see the patience of Klaus here pays off, and basically Melster and Klaus don't move for like 30 seconds, just staring to see if anyone actually comes to them.
Meanwhile, you see Rooney considering the flank potentially towards A, but that's not where it's coming from. They've got the turret out from Zellsis to consider that side from Garage, but I think if Rooney's going to make a play here on A, he's got to be pacey about it.
They can't get off the site right now.
No, they're stuck.
They're giving up behind the Cosmic Divide right now.
perhaps realizing that it's going to dissipate here soon, but Rooney's flank is covered.
With the flank pressure too from Melzer, there's no way you can get back at fighting through this Cosmic Divide. Zealous is going to make an attempt at it, but beautiful round from KRU.
And a bloody massacre for Cloud9.
And then let's finish here with the last round in the game. And again, we'll talk about this chamber, right? Because against this Viper, this can be very tricky, right? This creates a lot of pressure down here towards A. You know, you can't really see what's going on. You know, for instance here, right? Davies, he's just staring at this Viper wall. He can't see what's going on. But the thing is, again, because you're playing that double Sentinel, as I said before, it allows you to mix up your setup so much to where, yes, we have our chamber here. We also have a trademark here. And again, when you see that setup, you're probably thinking that this chamber is alone on A, because that's what normally would happen. But because we're also playing Killjoy, who, you know, can have a turret here watching both C and Garage, and we got an alarm bot and nanos on B, you know, we can still watch the other side of the map and still have actually 3 players here on A. And so I think that Cloud9 almost get baited here by the teleport, because what's going to happen is they are going to walk down short here. And Davies, you know, he misses that shot just there because he's close to hitting it. But now they probably feel like, okay, yeah, we're good. You know, we got this, right? But what we're going to get a little survival smoke in here from the Astra. And, you know, they might think that, oh, you know, this chamber's off site and now he's back here, but there's still 2 extra players here. Oh, and by the way, they both have Seekers and Razel. And so you see that Cloud9, they're probably feeling confident that they can take the site, but it goes very, very badly for them, and they run and turn tail very quick.
Taking the space back.
Showstopper out.
Here he fills. There's the Seekers. Seek Hesitant looking for something.
Off the air!
But the smoke is what's keeping him back, so they're going to rotate off of this.
And Jake didn't even get the TP off. If he got that, maybe they have the C site to rotate into now. They're struggling. They're scrambling.
And as Baller just said, they are panicking, and you know, they don't really know what to do. And you'll see that just happen here in a second as well, where, you know, they thought they could TP to C, probably because, again, they thought that chamber was going to be alone. So when they saw 2 other players, they probably go, oh, everyone must be rotating across here, so, you know, let's fast go in towards C. And you'll see from Zeppa here, he's just going to charge in, thinking that, again, like, this Astra must be the only player here, right? And they were just clearly a bit confused as to what exactly was going on. And you saw that the double Sentinel comp was kind of messing with them in terms of how you can play that defensive side. And so you'll see this doesn't go too well for Zeppa either.
They've been thrown into disarray, and Melzer with position to put him away. Spike on the ground, a 5v3. KRU in a position to pull off what everyone thought was unthinkable. What everyone thought was impossible.
And from here, KRU, they actually look like they're in a pretty good position. I kind of like, you know, what the map kind of looks like right now, where if they come A, we'll play retake A. Don't care, right? If they come C, we'll play retake C. We're in a 5v3. That's kind of good. You want to be kind of sticking together, as close together as you can be, possibly, you know, and just playing it safe. Now, maybe they get a bit eager here to kind of close the round and they lose some gunfights. They actually end up in a 3v2, but then Nags, who had a crazy game on Pearl, will become kind of the hero, and then Davies will manage to win a 1v1 as they win a 2v3 and close out this map.
The
first few series, sure, against a weak MIBR, why not? But against Cloud9,
Here.
an outrageous possibility, but Jay can snatch them back, and he can do it on his own. He gets 2 there. Zealous just with another counter. Now Pit invested. Bit of room for Rooney to work. Maybe Nags can make a play. Of course, it's going to be Nags. He's gotten it down to a 2v2. Pit's still up. Nags with another.
No way. The lockdown going to be invested.
Rooney has to push this. He's got to go. Well considered by Nags to tuck, though. Clears it out. There's the swing. He's gotten it down to 1v1.
Oh, no.
Where's Davies? Just on the other side, and he delivers the shot. Turns out this Davies